Welcome to this conversation with the Morning Tea Marketing Missus, where we get together. We have some really interesting conversations talking about how we can help businesses on and offline, and also, a lot of things around individuals and what inspires people to get the work done, all those sort of topics. And that's a little bit what we're covering this month. And we've got our usual lineup here. Narelle Gaddy, and Narelle is an accessibility author. Myself, Janine Vosper, I help people have the confidence to speak their voice. We've got Lara Arden. Lara is I know what you are, Lara. It's coming to me. Lara is an awesome awards coach, and Jan Roche has website development business as well as over 50s help. I think our conversation is mostly Lara's going to bring in a whole lot of ideas on these topics today. Hey, ladies, anyway, it's great to see everybody.
Hi.
Great to
Hi,
see you all again. Yeah,
Great
thanks,
to
Jen.
see you all.
So we're talking about beliefs this week, and what are the beliefs that either you've identified that perhaps don't serve you as well as they could in your business or in your personal life, because our business is a reflection of our personal life. And what's something you're able to do to change that? And what's something that you now have as a replacement that better serves you when it comes to a particular belief in your business? Or it might not even be so much the belief, it could be the process that works for you. Let's see if we can learn a little bit more about some strategies and skills that that we use and that we can help others understand more about too. Who'd like to go first?
You.
Okay, all right. Okay. All right, I'll lead from the front today. Okay, so here's a belief that I realized recently wasn't working for me, and it's interesting where it comes from, because it's probably something that comes from my mum, bless her, because of the upbringing that she had. And it's a belief that formed within her as a young child that I think probably just got handed on to me. And that is the idea of being self-sufficient, being independent and not needing to rely on anyone, or not wanting to be a burden to anyone, but just feeling as though you can do things on your own, and that's enough. And from face value, you would probably look at that and think, well, that's admirable. Like, it's a good thing for us to be independent and to, be able to, do some things for ourselves and not need help for every little thing. And it works to a point until recently. I had the good fortune of a young man to reach out to me with my YouTube channel, where he noticed that my videos, whilst I had good content, that the covers for them, a bit like a video cover or a thumbnail, wasn't as good as it could be, and that the videos themselves didn't have hashtags for them to be optimized for SEO ranking, which was actually sort of causing my channel to not perform as well as it could be. Anyway, he asked if he'd be able to show me his effectiveness, and I guess to help me. He didn't mention this, but I realized that if I accepted his challenge to show me how with just 2 videos he could make a difference, that I guess it would allow me to see that, oh, maybe if somebody else did help me in that particular area, rather than me thinking, oh, it's another thing I have to learn, another thing I've got to do, that could actually be really useful. And so I said, all right, well, let's just try 2. I've got 24 videos on the channel. I said, let's just start with 2 and see how that goes. So he took it from 1 or 2 views, which were mainly me, on my videos from a month ago, because the channel's still fairly new, only a couple of months old. And he was able to fully optimize them, make some really nice looking professional YouTube covers or thumbnails for them. And get this, within a week, those 2 videos, they went from 1.4 to 1.9 videos. Oh, sorry, 1.4 thousand to 1.9 thousand views on those videos within a week. And I've now suddenly gone from 0 to, 244 subscribers. It's incredible.
That's
and
awesome.
and yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, hats off to him. His name's Sabir, Sabbir. Anyway, I just would like to recognize and acknowledge him for helping to change one of my beliefs, which was, oh, I can do everything on my own. You know, I don't need to ask for help. And the good thing about it for me is that I didn't ask, he actually came to me and offered. And I think that probably helped me. But it helped me break through an upper limit or belief that I had as a ceiling, thinking that I have to do everything on my own. When I was able to see that, you know what, you get someone involved who really knows what they're doing, is really good at it, and they can just help things just really take off for you. So thank you, Sabir. And yes, I'd like to open it up and ask, what have you discovered within your business that you realised was a limiting belief, that something happened and you've been able to change that now, and things, you know, hopefully are next level for you now?
It's a gorgeous looking photo of you on your banner on your YouTube channel. I do have to say that.
Yeah. Thank you.
One of mine, and you know, having sat in a GM role for 20 years, and just I'm quite capable. I can really just do something and do it, and just do it well. I'm not a perfectionist, thank God, and that's probably why I can do things like a broad range of things, because I'm not a perfectionist. You know, it was the same with sports. I always played in the B team, or you know, I came third or fourth in swimming. I was never the champion of anything, but I could do everything well. And it's been the same with business. It's easy for me to see things.
Nice.
The problem with that is that it's really hard to let go. And a little bit along the lines, Lara, it's not that I'm actually good at delegating now, like very good at delegating now, but it's still so much easier. Just do it myself, because it's a whole lot faster. I know it'll get done right. And it's you're laughing, Jan, because I know that's you as well, isn't
it? So alike.
I know. Yeah. And it is. It's very much that. And it's been something that I tell you a story. Years and years ago, when my grown men were in primary school, I put my hand up to run a fete, because I do that sort of thing. We talked about this before we came on before. There's a lot of balls in the air. I'm on all these different boards, as well as business. Like, there's a lot going on. Anyway, I said, yeah, sure, I can run a school fete. And I started asking people, you know, the old fete days, different stalls and things. And I said to this woman, I know that she lived on acreage, and I said, you got beautiful gardens. Would you mind being the convener for the plant stand? And she burst into tears. And I've gone, okay, maybe not. And then she said to me through the tears, she said, nobody's asked me to do something like that before and trusted me to do it.
Oh, wow.
And it was one of my biggest lessons in letting go of stuff.
Yeah.
And letting other people shine.
Wow.
And enabling them. Yeah. And we became friends, you know, friends for the last 30 years. It was amazing. I was stunned because I'm the sort of person who'll just put my hand up to do it, but that's not usual. Most people wait to be asked to do something. Not as pushy as me. If I want something, I realized I did a test on the weekend. I was at a conference on Friday, and it was a designer life. Have you come across that before? It's part of a birthday thing. It's a whole body design thing. And I went, oh my God, that's exactly me. And the person said, I bet you do this, 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 and this. And I went, yeah, that's exactly me. And it wasn't lightning years ago going, oh, not everyone thinks like this. So again, it's going, okay, because and now that makes me a really good coach because of that. But it's innate realizing that everyone's on a different place, and some people just need to be asked, and you need to let go of things. So that was my big learning.
Beautiful. Thank you. What a gift to be able to have that courage to let go, you know, and let somebody else have the opportunity to shine. What a gift for them as well. Yeah. Well, I had to too if I let my husband stack and unload the dishwasher. So
and that's it, isn't it? While you were all talking, I was thinking about one thing that I was brought up with, and I think we're all of a similar age, and it's the status quo is fine, you know.
Yeah.
It's okay, you know, you just accept that this is happening because it's always been done that way. And I was brought up out bush with very conservative parents and very conservative grandparents, and that bush ethos of, yeah, you know, it's always been done this way. And I got it one day and I thought, why?
Mm.
Yeah, seriously, why? Is it helping anyone? Well, I can't even remember what the issue was at the time. Well, hang on, if it's not working, I know what it was. It was at church and the kids were playing up as per normal. And there were 6 kids, my 3, another acquaintance's 3 kids, all within about 3.5 years of age difference. And they get bored at church. And like the priest said, oh, we've got to make them sit, we've got to make them be quiet, because we've always done it this way. And I thought, well, hang on, they're too old for Sunday school. And you wouldn't have got these 6 kids at any Sunday school. There's no way. Wasn't going to happen. Would have been more trouble than it's worth. So I sort of said to the other mum, well, why don't we see what the kids can do to help the community in that? And she said, what do you mean? I said, well, would you do it? And she said, yeah, because she was fed up. Her 2, she's got 2 boys and a girl, and her girl was beautiful. Actually, there was 7 kids. It was Maureen and Heather would sit quietly, but there was these 5 boys. Holy smokes, they could disrupt anything if they could. And, you know, so we said, right, we're going to get these kids doing things. And the priest said, oh, they can be older servers. I thought this was about the time when it was really picking up about the Catholic Church and all of that area. And I thought, they can be older servers, but under our guidance. But that only fixes 2. We've still got 3 free range. Yeah, this isn't going to work. So we put a proposal together and we went to the priest and said, how about we start a kids group that runs a mass once a week? They do the music, they do the readings, they do the offertory, they learn what the mass is all about. And he said, oh, well, if you can get someone to go with you. I said, okay. I found someone and it's still going, that group.
Wow.
I'm out of it, and obviously Sharon's out of it because all our kids are grown up and gone, but my godkids are now part of it. And it's still going. And it's just something that once a month at the 5 p.m. mass, the kids are given triangles. It didn't matter what it was. They were given responsibilities. And they were said, you might be 5, but damn, you know, you go with that person and help do collections. Or you go do this, or find something for them to do. And when I was at a wedding on Saturday, and I met the other lady that was her kids and mine, and like her daughter's now a mother of 2, and the lessons that Heather learnt and her sons learnt, the lessons that my sons learnt, that it's about giving to the community and just changing that status quo of saying, kids, let them be kids, but give them something that they know is responsible. And the kids worked out pretty quick. Well, you know, they weren't getting in trouble because they were doing things. They weren't bored. You're not going to get kids to sit for 60 minutes, which is a normal Catholic mass, much as I'd have wanted them to take in everything and understand everything. Their brains weren't developed enough to understand some of the adult concepts. Bring it back to what the level that it is, give them the understanding that way, and it works. And I think just challenging the status quo. Just because my mother said it was fine, it wasn't particularly fine.
Nice to be reminded, Narelle, of how important it is to remember that, you know, the status quo comes up because of the convenience or the sometimes even just the laziness of, you know, well, let's just do what we've always done. But then recognizing that, well, wait a minute, things can be different, and we can create that. And it's often just, it starts with a question and then a conversation, and then, you know, a little bit of implementation, working out what you could do different. And it's just amazing hearing how it has that beautiful on-flow effect, you know, for everyone else that gets the benefit as well. Just because one person said, why are we doing it this way?
It just made the difference. And the true success of that, which is linking back to what Janine said last week, was one of the masses. It was Father, oh God, I can't think of his name, doesn't matter. He was an Irish priest. And he said, oh, who do I pray for? And one of the kids in the Bud group, it was Bud group mass, stood up and said, we've got to pray for the ugly duckling. We haven't prayed for the ugly duckling this week. And do you know what? He said a prayer for the ugly duckling. Didn't blink an eyelid. said it, kept going.
Beautiful.
And I thought, yeah, change the status quo.
I think
accept it
that's
being
so
that way.
important in all aspects of business, isn't it? When they say that, the only things definite are change and death, and that we are constantly changing. We're not the same as we were yesterday.
True.
So we need to be aware that change is constant and to grab it.
Yeah.
I think for mine, we don't sometimes sticking with tradition, like what you were talking about, Narelle. Tradition isn't always the best way, but at the same time, when it comes to morals and manners and all of that kind of stuff, it is so lacking now. So that saying now, the new morality is the old immorality, being honest. Whereas we don't have enough, and we have, people just sitting back and just watching stuff going, oh gee, and not doing anything about it. That drives me insane. This is stemming from a conversation that I had with Pat about our grandkids, because we've got some not so good influences that we see happening. And last weekend, Father's Day, we went to lunch with Pat's son and wife, so my stepson and his wife, and the 4 kids. So there's 2 kids from Aaron's first relationship, and now 2 kids from his marriage. And the oldest kids, they get on so well, they love each other to death, but they fight and they cause trouble for each other, especially the oldest one. She's a girl and she's very clever. She's I think she's 7, 8. And something broke off her shoe underneath the table. And so she was blaming her brother. And of course, he's younger, and so he's very soft and gentle. So he was crying and, he didn't do it. I didn't do it. And then about 5 minutes later, Crystal went, oh, no, he didn't break it, blah, blah, blah. And I just said, well, honey, don't you think you should go and apologize to your brother? Because he's over there crying. He's very upset because you said he broke something and he got in trouble.
Yeah.
So she really listened and then said sorry to him. And I think he was kind of like shocked. What's she saying sorry for? She doesn't say sorry. But the thing was, I'm known for, I'm not bossy. I'm not going to say I'm bossy. I am bossy. I know I am. But
so am I. Just own it, Jen.
Oh, I do. Management skills, that's what it is. But the thing is,
I like that term better, Jen.
Yes, amongst the family, I don't sit back and just look at stuff that's not right. Whether it's affecting me or whether it's affecting somebody else, I don't like that kind of thing. And so, like even Pat's sister was saying, she said something and corrected the kids, and then she goes, oh, I'm sorry, I'm out of turn. And I went, what do you mean you're talking out of turn? They were misbehaving and you pulled them up. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
And her as the great aunt, if anyone can pull up one of the kids, the grandkids, it's her, right?
Yeah.
So I don't understand. I don't understand what is now missing, why everybody thinks that, not everybody, but a lot of people think that they don't have freeness of speech. They can't contribute to society and their own families to raise better children, to be better adults. No, it's really lacking and really missing. So yeah, I go out of my way to make sure that, and Auntie Jan, Nana Jan, everybody, the kids love me because they know the boundaries.
So that's something that really has changed a lot, isn't it? And it's a belief that we probably all sit here with, is knowing that there are boundaries for everybody. And so that's part of it too, Lara, isn't it? Some things don't need to change.
Yeah,
definitely. And and I think it's great, like listening to, to the things that you've been experiencing, Jan, to recognise that it's important that when there are boundaries that we make them clear, because some people don't even know that there are boundaries, that there's such a thing. And so when we have an opportunity to enlighten them, and educate them and help them see a better way, it's our opportunity. But it can also be a great responsibility that we make things better for other people as well. When we can point out, hey, did you realize there's actually a line there? That's called a boundary, and it's we don't cross that line when we want to be emotionally respectful of others, because if we do, it could cause emotional injury, and then you got to fix that up. So let's just avoid that and stay in our own lane.
That's it.
Great conversation, and we sort of started one way and we went another way, but I think all of it is of high value, ladies. Thank you so much for that. And that's another conversation with the Morning Tea Marketing Missus. Remember to find our YouTube channel if you're seeing this video somewhere across social media. We would love for you to jump on, subscribe, and let us know how you've changed your beliefs and how it is maybe adjusted things the way they work for you in your life. Or maybe you haven't. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you next time.